about that. Is there, where's, is Mrs. William in the crowd? Oh, is there any way we can, is there a special way to get, is there like a string? Okay, we're going to wait, but we'll give you the cue, okay? When I give you the cue, Hayden, can you and Caleb make sure and bring those down for us, okay? That'd be great. Okay. Wow, what a time of the year, right? By the way, I just want to, before we get started, what? The quarter after? Is that what this is done? 10:06. 10:06, okay. All right. What a time of year this is. Another thing before we get started. Can you guys move back? Okay. And can you sit up for me? Yeah, that backpack laying down, looking like stuff, it almost gives me the impression that you may not be totally engaged. Now, that doesn't mean that you wouldn't be. It just kind of gives me that impression. So why don't you get that backpack, sit yourself right up. Keep going. I'm going to need you guys to yell back. And you'll see why. You'll see why after a bit. You're going to see why after a bit. Good. Okay? Okay. Now my fear, I do have fear as well, but my fear is every year at this time. My fear is, even for myself, is that I will allow this time of year to just slide by me without it affecting me in some way, shape, or form to a greater degree than any other time of year. And the reason why I say that is because if we were to ask the world, throw out for me what you would consider the biggest event that has ever happened up to this time in the world that you know of, you might get all kinds of different answers, right? You might get the Holocaust. You might get 9/11. You may get any kind of major event that somebody may consider to be their biggest event that's ever happened in the world. Now, we, as followers of Christ, I would hope an event would come right to the surface for us. Right to the surface. I mean, it's just right there. And we would hopefully maybe say something like this. Oh, there's no doubt. Hands down. The biggest event that's ever happened in history up to this point would be the birth, the death, and the resurrection of a certain individual. And in case you wanted to know who he is, his name happens to be Jesus Christ. That's got to be, by far, the biggest event that has ever happened up until now, and I hate to tell you, but never will until Christ comes back. So on Wednesday, I'm thinking about this as I'm driving and during spring break. I'm thinking, do we really appreciate, do we really understand, probably not, the total brevity of really what took place with the birth and the death and the resurrection of Jesus. As bad as we try, we still maybe not get the total brevity of this event. huge takeaway of this event? What makes this so big? What makes this such an event? As I was thinking, and as I was driving back from the big state of Minnesota, seeing my boys out there, I was driving at about 3:30 in the morning. Took off from Minnesota at about 10 at night. I like to drive at night. Of course, you know, I told you before, I love to drive. It just seems to be my sanctuary. And as I was driving, I was thinking about this and just, you know, just kind of swelling up like, man, this event is huge. This event is so big. This event is just off the charts, able to describe and able to communicate. All of a sudden, I see some rather interesting lights, rather close behind me, looking like they're red and blue. And I'm like, what in the world? I'm about the only one on the road. I'm like, he must have somewhere he wants to go. So I pull off to the side, just wanting to get by. He happens to pull over too. And I'm like, snap! Judy! I've got somebody behind me that you're not going to really think is funny. Because she's always saying, Tim, you drive too fast. You got to slow down. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't afford. I just have to, I'll let you know, let's see. I just happened to go through a construction zone that I remember. In the construction zone, big signs, you know, 45 miles an hour. And if you get caught speeding in a construction zone, it's double the price. Matter of fact, they write it right on the sign, you know. Double the price, it's going to be at least $375 fine. So all of these things are starting to flash through my mind fast. And I'm like, snap! Judy! And of course, right away, she's like, what? You were going too fast, weren't you? I told you 1,000 times, you've got to slow down. And boy, I mean, to tell you, if you know Judy, my wife, she's like, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. It's raining. I thought there's no police officers going to stop anybody in the rain. I said, oh my word. So all of a sudden we hear it. And of course, it's on Judy's sleeping, you know, but she is now woken up. And she's on the passenger side, and all of a sudden she gets this on her window. She's like, no! Scared her half to death, first of all. Roll down the window. Have any idea why I stopped with you tonight? Well, not really. What's up? Well, did you see that speed zone you just came through? And this is true. I said, I don't know what a speed zone is. Speed zone. He said the construction zone. I said, oh, the construction zone. Yes, I do remember seeing that. He said, did you realize that when you went through that construction zone, you blew my doors off? Matter of fact, I was so into what I was thinking and what I was doing and what I just blew right through there. And I think I passed him. Because it was an unmarked car. I think I just right past him. It's not like he's standing on the side of the road. He's driving through the construction zone too, and I just walk right past him. So I'm like, oh snap, this is not going to be good. So he takes my license, registration, goes back into the car. So you know what I just happened to do as a Bible teacher at Northpointe Christian?
Pray.
I started praying. But it never happens. You do not get pulled over in another state with with a Michigan license plate from a state trooper and get off of these things. It just doesn't happen. But I'm praying. God's big. He's a big God. So I'm praying. Judy's like,